Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're getting ready to hop into the last national qualifier game. Hey, how's it going, Ish? 200K, also known as Lila the Poet. Glad you're here. Speaking of folks that are here, Sopadidi just showed up. So we have a full lobby. So let's go ahead and hop into the game lobby here. We have Uber Boss, Boris and Robin, Sopadidi, General Sugawara, and Riedel battling it out for the last remaining spots on the German team. Speaking of which, I should probably grab what the current standings are for you guys, so you can see what's up. So in the first seat, we have General Sugawara on black. In the second seat, we have Riedel on white. In the third seat, we have Uber Boss on yellow. In the fourth seat, we have Sopadidi on red. And in the fifth and final seat, we have Boris and Robin. And getting started here 3 minutes after the hour, so not super late. For reference for later, oops. Alright, so Sugawara goes ahead and grabs a +4 on his turn 1. And like I was saying, I want to make sure that you guys have the standings so you understand what the stakes are, who's got how many points, all that good stuff, right? All that interesting stuff that us risk nerds care about. Put this over here as I put it in the Twitch chat. So, of the players in this lobby, Uber Boss has the most points. He's got 97 points. Then Riedel, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, has the second most points in this lobby. Riedel is on 74 points. Oh geez, we see Uber Boss goes ahead and grabs the +6 on turn 1. That's a difficult +6 to take, and he did an excellent job taking it his first turn here. And we got Borison in 10th on 61 points. And Sopadidi in 11th on 45. And General Sugawara tied with him, also in 11th. On 45. So those are your current standings. It does look like Sopa and Sugawara's only hope for qualifying is Game 3. That might also be true for Borison and Riedel. But Borison and Riedel, if either of them take both wins, maybe for Riedel just the Game 2 win, that might give them enough points to qualify. Uber Boss may already be a lock. Probably just needs to win one. Doesn't matter which game for Uber Boss. Alright, we see red. Sopa takes his +3. And then we see green take the +5 north wall. Alright, black looks like he's thinking about setting up for another bonus. Yep, he does want another bonus. He's gonna get it too. Gonna pull his 2 in. Important to mention, 4th, that's Lila, who's on 89 points. Lila is on 89 points, not 86. Currently qualifies, preying on Uber Boss to dominate. Okay, yeah. Lila is 4th overall in tap. Interesting. In Libra, I'm assuming that's you in 5th with 85. Hey, what's up, Cecil? How many tap players will qualify for Germany from these two groups? Good question. It should be 4 total. Yeah, but I already qualified. Oh, 2. Okay. Hope it stays that way. Yeah, we will certainly find out through the course of this round. 2 tap and the 2 game 3s. Yep. And 2 have already qualified on tap. I'm assuming the 2 that have qualified on tap were actually, I have no idea who qualified game 3. I'm assuming that was Speed and Armada. Speedster and General Armada looks like those are the 2 that have already qualified on tap. Yep, okay. Riedel played 1 less round, right? So he's not actually 7th. Ah, okay, that's good to know. He's not actually 7th in terms of tap. He's 7th in terms of overall points. I gotcha. Thanks, Tanya, for the asterisks there. Yeah, if anyone wants to do the tap math, that would help. All right, we do see Sopa. He's going to go ahead and grab the west wall +3, puts him on a total of +6. Sugawara, meanwhile, is on a total of +10. Looks like it is going to get back around to Sugawara to collect on that. Meanwhile, Robin is on +5. It looks like he's going to try to get an additional +4. And Boris and Robin 2, I think. For how many rounds? Yeah, I think you're probably right about Tanya. Riedel and Robin are like the only 2 players I see that that are on the front page and didn't play round 4 or have 0 points in round 4. Oh yeah, Uber did steal Riedel's bonus. Good call out. I'm too busy messing around with the points and the standings to have even noticed that. But yeah, Riedel did have that +4 Old Town in addition to his +7 Mount St. Michel, but got it swiped out from under him by Uber Boss, so Riedel's stuck with his +7. General Sugawara is in a nice spot here. Early troop lead. Of course, that'll balance out as the rest of the players take their turn this round. Does he greed out for yet another bonus? He could take the +3 and +4 here if he wanted them both. Looks like he is going to just go ahead and pick them both up. Surely one of those gets broken. If I'm Riedel, I go ahead and snag the +3 that's not being defended. That's way too much for Sugawara to hold. We see the fist bump come out. Sugawara puts the cry face up, but I think he understands. Riedel does indeed need this bonus. Riedel, Lila, Robin, and Sugawara skipped round 3. Okay. Was round 3 the skip? For some reason I thought round 4 was the skip round. No, wait, you're right. Round 3 was the skip round. My mistake. Yep, round 3 is the skip round. I have an XLSO status, but can't put in the screenshot. I don't know what that means. Excel? You have an Excel status, but can't put it in the screenshot. Oh, the calculation? What you could do is just grab the text of that instead of the screenshot. You can just grab the text and pop it in. We see more greed occurring. Sopadidi gonna take a big bonus. Wants the +7 of markets, puts him on a total +13 if he's able to hold all that. Riedel looking particularly fishy though. Looks like Robin is planning on breaking. Oh boy, we see the tap averages there. Thank you, Lila. Armada on 24.5, Lila on 22.25, Speed on 21.8, Uber on 19.4, Riedel on 18.5, Jonah on 17, Bra on 17, Syrup on 16.6, Robin on 15.25, Kiko on 13.6, Sugarara on 11.25, and Sopa on just shy of 8.5. Oh. Okay, you guys are throwing all kinds of numbers and stuff at me now. I don't think you factored in the skip. Okay. Alright, Sugarara doing a lot of guarding, particularly of his +7. 4s everywhere. Of course, he has to take a card off one of them. Is Red going to be allowed to hold all that he's got? This is definitely some big bonus taking going on this game. Hey, thanks, Open. Uber Boss on 24.25, Riedel on 24.6, Borison on 20.1/3, Sopa on 11.25, and Sugarara on 15. Okay, that should help. Yeah, Black should be building a stack somewhere, and he's not. He's playing defensively when he's the one that's most likely to run it, or that should be preparing a run, based off of his troop count. Yeah, Lebra, it looks like your numbers match what Tanyao has. As long as they're fast, I prefer Black's approach. Alright, fair enough. Oh, Tanya says didn't even see that one, yeah. All good. Yeah, the little bars to space out this it does wonders for organization. Yeah, Sugarara playing this very defensively. Gonna make sure that no one can run the 70 until he's good and ready to run it himself. Of course, what I would be doing if I was Sugarara is I'd be stacking heavy on the 12 on Riedel's border. On Riedel's border. I'd be stacking heavy on Riedel's border and getting ready to kill him because he's particularly fishy. But that would be my play as Sugarara, is get big, kill Riedel, and then run the 70. Sugarara only needs game 3? Pretty sure everyone only needs game 3. puts people off running too early, and if they do, they likely don't break both. Yep, those are certainly good points, Bertram. The reason why I don't like it a whole lot is because I prefer lining up my win condition sooner rather than later, and the best way to do that is to stack myself. But there's certainly plenty of ways to play this, and I've seen the strategy that Sugawara is using. I've seen it work. So, oh wow. Speaking of single stacking, Sopa taken almost the exact opposite tact as Sugawara is. Basically, aside from his 4, that 48 is all Sopa has, right in the middle of the board. Any other game doesn't really matter to him. I mean, he can't qualify on points. Gotcha. Yeah, Sugawara has to get Q3 to qualify, is what you're saying. I hear you. Sopa has the most reliance on game 3. The rest can still make a team by points. Interesting. I'm assuming that that for Sugawara's case, at least, he would need to win game 1 and game 2 to qualify on points. All right, we see the first trade come out, worth 4. Yeah, Sugawara generating a ton. Getting plus 15 just from bonuses alone. Sugawara's average gets affected by points harder. Yeah, he was one of the people that skipped, right? That had a skip round. Yep. Yeah, so his points are going to be quote-unquote worth more with respect to his average because you're dividing by 4 instead of by 5 to calculate this tap. Riedel knows he has to stack on his one exterior spot and become as unattractive to kill as possible. Might be a smidge tricky. Oh, we see a break on Sopa from Uberboss. Or is this a... This looks like it could be a run attempt from Uberboss. Goes up to break black to grab those territories. And try to run as far down as he can with that 4. Running into Borison here. I'm going to break Riedel also. On 55% of the board, he may have this. Can the 19 finish it up for Uberboss? Looks like it just might. Needs to split. Or maybe he doesn't. Oh, actually, he did. No, he did not need to split. He's got it. No kills. And Uberboss with, not... I mean, he had solid pathing. It wasn't perfect pathing, but it was certainly good enough to bag him the game 1 win there. Very well played to the yellow player. And with that, we are on to game 2. So that should change the tap scores. I gave status after Q4. After Q5 is different, of course. Yeah, he did miss a bunch of 1s. Yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, it was tense with all the 1s he was skipping. Yeah, that board was wide open, though. Yeah, if the board was a little bit more tightly guarded, he wouldn't have been able to do that. Now red, black, and green can only qualify with game 3, I think. Uberboss should be qualified now with that. All right, yeah. Someone, you guys can feel free to do the math there. All that's changed is now Uberboss has 15 more points than he did before, Uber Boss's total is whatever 97 plus 15 is. What is that? 112? Uber Boss total points is 97 plus 15. So if my math is right, that's 112. So if someone would like to be the tap master. Alright, we're trying to figure out who's got the Japan map. Doesn't look like anyone has it. Everyone's reacted except for Sopa. No Japan. Play game 2 settings on classic map. His tap is now 28. Nice, okay. And Ish, you were the one that, Lila, you were the one hoping that Uber Boss would sweep, right? To keep you in the running. So, if I'm not mistaken, that was the outcome you were hoping for. At least from game 1. Okay, no one has the map, but Robin does not want to play on Classic, so he's going to go ahead and buy Japan for the lobby here. I'm fine that the best players get through. Gotcha. That's a good attitude to have. His tap is now 25.85. Ooh, yeah, don't shave off that 0.85. All right, now we're going to hop into a fixed 70% game on Japan. This game is going to be worth 20 points. Uber Boss has played 4.333 games now. Fair enough. All right, looks like everyone's going to keep their same colors, and we're going to go and hop into game 2 right now. Getting started at 24 minutes after the hour. We'll check out the turn order here in a sec. All right, we got Sopadidi in the first seat. Still the red player. Then we have Uber Boss on yellow in the second seat. Then who do we have up next? We got Sugawara, holy smokes, on black in the third seat. Sometimes I can't talk, you guys. Riedel on white in the fourth seat. And Boris and Robin keeping that fifth and final seat warm. I'm going to once again bring up the caboose for the turn order in this game. All right, we'll see how the players decide to organize the board here. We're cooked if Rito doesn't qualify. He'll find a way. Okay. Well, we'll be able to see it here first. Ooh, Sopa fails a 3v1. Looks like he was attempting the Kanto bonus take. And we see Uber Boss take a nice and easy +3 on turn 1. No muss, no fuss, no casualties. Grabs himself the Ryukyu Islands in the back. Alright, and we see Sugawara looks like he's going to go for Kanto. Successfully gets the 3v1 on what's his name? Oh geez, on Borison. And gets out of Riedel's Shikoku bonus. Riedel gonna pick up the +4. USA teams are stacked. Yeah, USA is gonna be a set of teams to look at. That's for sure. Did you qualify? Yeah, I believe Cecil did qualify. Not that I've been studying the teams. Yeah, Cecil, Bradamite, and Rivers is a solid team.
This is fine. This is fine.
And the crazy thing is that might not even be the best team, because there's another team that has Mamba and Sea Monster on the same team, which that's another crazy one. And then one of the Canada teams is Arco and Trunk. That team's gonna be beefy. So, yeah, should be fun, but it'll be thoroughly entertaining when Spain comes out of nowhere and wins the cup. Ole. All right. Borison, no turn 1 bonus. Sopa gonna smash a 4, trying to make sure he secures his bonus on turn 2. He does successfully pick up the Kansai bonus. It's gonna be worth 5. We're just gonna have this year be an underdog story. Yeah, hopefully. Crackle got one of the alternate spots. All right, good for him. Seems as though Uber Boss, excuse me, is being asked to leave. Borison, the only player without a bonus or a claim to one. Sugarawa are going to pick up his +5 right now. Does he get his 4 out of Robin's way? He does. He's going to... Ooh. Sugarawa are going to line up Hokkaido. Add a +3 to his +5. Down with the established players. It is time for new blood. Well, those seats have to be earned, Libra. I'm not necessarily opposed to that, but the players that are quote-unquote established are established for a reason. They're all very, very good players. All right, Robin going to pick up his +4. That is the Kyushu and Okinawa bonus that Robin has picked up. Of course, he is pretty weak. Could be fairly easily bullied. I'm not sure if you want to start a fight with Riedel when you're that weak. But Borison does break Riedel's second bonus, which, don't get me wrong, that bonus did need to be broken. But maybe let somebody else do it. Of course, wouldn't want handouts. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that, yep. Do you know whom the Dutch teams are? Cecil, I think it's just one Dutch team. It's Bart, Redolinu, and Lernsey. And I don't remember who their alternate is. Bart, Lernsey, and Redolinu, the Phoenix. Alt is Yako. Yeah, Yako's solid. Yeah, it was... Netherlands was always going to be close. Because Open's a good player, and Spook was also trying to qualify. He's also a good player. Alright, nobody really seems to be bullying Borison. It looks like Black has an opportunity to pick up a +3. Reason I got knocked out was that Yako made 0 mistakes in a round 2. Oh, wow. Yeah, Yako's a very good player. Like, the turn I could get a 70 run, Yako ran a perfect 70. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Looks like Riedel's just planning on retaking. This is the last opportunity to really bully Robin, if anyone wanted to, since he's on 14 troops. No one's going to go for it. He's going to be allowed to collect his bonus. Going to have to hit a 2 for a card, though. It's a bummer. We'll get this bot out of my Twitch chat here. Gets perfect dice on the 2. So Borison hanging on, but is still very much in this game. So Sopa. So I think everyone's content with their bonuses except for maybe Uber Boss. Uber Boss probably wants more than just a +3, particularly if Black and White are both going to be trying to hold 2 bonuses. Ooh, Sopa wants to bully Borison, decides to break him now. Yeah, well-deserved sad he didn't make the team, but the others are insanely strong. Yeah. Yep. Netherlands has a strong team for sure. So if I'm Uber Boss, I'd be going ahead and taking my +5 right now. That puts me on equal footing with Black if I were to take it now. Yeah, doesn't take it. Black, meanwhile, collects on his double bonus. But Riedel going to have the most generation. Doesn't look like Sugawara is planning on breaking him. Sugawara guards, or leaves a 2 behind, but fortifies the rest onto his portal. Lernsey is a true red player, and Bart is a true Arco Avatar player. They know their tropes. Yep. Alright, Real just going to leave that 3 parked in front of Sugawara's 16. Borison going to retake his bonus. Doesn't act against Sopa, though. Does someone have the Borison Robin kill while he's on 4? It may not quite be worth it, but 3 points is 3 points. Riedel can probably run soon. Oh, yeah. See, the problem with leaving Borison weak is that he can't help block the board. Yeah, Sopa just going to take a card. Yeah, that 10 and 11 of Riedel's are both wide open. They can dance around just about any part of the board that they wish to. Uberboss loses a 3, taking his second bonus. If Riedel wins, Lila's out. Yeah, unfortunately. I think I have the most points out of everyone. Of course, I used 5 rounds for it. Very nice. Sugawara with the 10 set. Oh wow, loses a ton, smacking that 9, but he is going after the Borison Robin kill, gonna pick it up. GG's to Borison. And well played to General Sugawara, picking up 3 points. But that may have cost him the win. He lost 10 troops, hitting that 9. At least he gets to recuperate those troops with a trade. But yeah, had he not been broken, I don't think Sugawara would have gone for that kill. But now Sugawara kind of has a duty to defend the bonus he took from Borison. Not going to do it. Does this open the board up enough for Riedel to go ahead and run it? Cecil, you have the most points across every country? That's crazy. It does look like Riedel's going to attempt the run here. Gets good dice on the 3. Good enough dice up top. Still has his 17 and his 11 to use. This does look like it's going Riedel's way. Still has a 3v1 he can use. Fails it. Gonna pick up where he left off with the 7. And wins a 2v1. That should be it. GG's for Riedel taking the W in game 2. Yep, if you're gonna pick up a kill that opens up the board, you do kind of have to try to defend the board a little bit. There's a huge difference between bagging 3 points and bagging 20. But GG's to Riedel picking up the 20 points for game 2. Most points, not highest tap. Gotcha. I believe it's Bart at 46.7, but I could be missing someone. You could check mine, Mitch. I had 160 points, and I only played 3 rounds. But, I don't know. You might want to put an asterisk next to mine. Maybe mine doesn't count. Bart played 4 games, so that would make 35. Alright, now we're going to hop into game 3. Game 3 is a progressive world domination game on Turkey. And whoever wins this game will qualify regardless of their points. So this is it, folks, the moment you've all been waiting for. Alright. If Riedel or Uberboss wins this, then Lila the Poet qualifies, is what you're saying? Interesting. Borison advising same colors. Much appreciated. Bart only played 3 rounds? I need to look at Bart's points. Did Bart get more points than I did? Or have a higher tap than I did? Because I also only played 3 rounds. But his points are probably worth more. His competition was a little stiffer than mine. Alright, so going into game 3, we got Riedel leading the round on 20 points, Uberboss on 15 points, General Sugawara on 3 points, Borison and Sopadidi both have yet to score. He said, oh yes he did. Wow, that is an insane tap. Bart's? Are you talking about mine? Alright, we got, let's see, game time, 40 minutes after the hour here. And then we got Uberboss in the first seat on yellow. We got Borison Robin. Doesn't want to be last anymore. He's going to go second this game. And then General Sugawara wants to be third again, just like in game 2. And then Riedel gonna go fourth again, just like in game 2. And then Sopadidi gonna take the 5th and final spot on red. Yep. Yeah, Bart is amazing at Risk. There's a reason why he's currently top of the Saber ranking. Boss has 15 more tap than Lila, assuming no points this round, so he qualifies. 15 tap or 15 total? Right, Riedel has already been knocked under 12. Is a bummer for him. But he still gets an extra troop just for going fourth. Point 15. Oh, gotcha. Sorry. My American brain sees a comma and assumes it's a typo, but I gotcha. I see what you meant. If a random person sweeps and Uber Boss gets nothing, then that person and Riedel make the team. Now, if one of the 3 other people aside from Uber and Riedel, if Riedel wins, Uber Boss gets the spot, and if Uber wins, then Riedel gets the spot. So yeah, Riedel and Uber are in a really good position coming into game 3. Is there anyone who's already clutched their spot, regardless of the outcome of this game? It seems like Uber Boss may have already, and maybe Riedel also has already. Sopadidi looks like he's working on the +5. Fails the 2v1 to finish it. I'm not sure you want to go for a bonus this game, my friend. It's 2 auto on tap after Q4, 2 for winning game 3, and then 2 highest tap. Yep, that sounds right. Yeah, I think that's probably true. It seems like Uber, at least, is already qualified, regardless of the outcome of this game. Borison spawns with a straight line of green cutting through the middle of the board. He's going to want that opened up at some point. My group let the 2 bottom bonuses be... Both of them? That's crazy. So, I practiced with Sugawara a couple times myself. And when he played this round, there were 2 practice games out of the 4 or 5 that we did. 2 where he went for the top left bonus and was able to hold it. Anyway. And let the 2 bottom bonuses be held after the first trades. Wow. Sugawara combining up some positions, it looks like. I've seen things happen this round that I want to unsee. Fair enough. Lila is the one on the bubble. They need Riedel or Uberboss to win. I gotcha. That's funny when there's more at stake on this game for a player that's not even in it. That's what you were saying. I gotcha. I follow. Or I have more free time again. Well, maybe you'll be an alternate. If you're an alternate, you might have some free time, but you won't have but you know, you may not get all your free time back. We see yellow removed from the bottom left, and Sopa finishes taking the +5. doubtful that they'll be allowed to hold it. Yellow's probably not going to be the one to break. Yellow seems to prefer the left side of the board anyway. A lot of yellow over there. I think that looks like Silent Legend will be one of the alternates. Oh, wow. Ooh, Borison not interested in breaking. Gonna leave it up to Riedel or Sugawara to do that. I'm sure Riedel was hoping that Borison would break. Everyone knows that it needs done, but who's willing to get their hands dirty is the question. Doesn't look like Sugawara is going to break either. So, going to be up to Riedel to break that. Sugawara takes a card off a 3v1. Always the player before the bonus? Yeah, breaking is so tough. The defense is impenetrable. Normally the player that goes right after the bonus taker on a game that obviously shouldn't be a bonus game is the one that should break. Just stop even thinking about holding a bonus. Like, this is just immediately going to get broken. We're not going to tolerate it. But now, Red has been looking at this board ever since he took it last turn and getting used to the idea that, yes, this is my bonus, right? Because he's been staring at it this entire time. So now he's going to be trying to insist upon it and defend it. But Riedel has done his job. He broke. And he's going to get knocked under 12 as his thank you. So now it is up to someone else to break. Meanwhile, the other thing about Red is Red was able to get 5 troops that turn, being on 15 territories. And moves out of Yellow's way if Yellow wants that bonus on the left side of the map. The +6 Aegean bonus. Yep, so Yellow not going to break Red. Loses 3 on Sugawara's 2. Does he go ahead and finish his bonus now? He does not. Borison doesn't look like he's lining up for a break. Are they going to force Riedel to break again? I'm not going to lie. If I'm Riedel, I just don't break, in protests. Like, if no one's going to help me, if we're all fine with him holding, then why am I going to be the hero? Yell's a pretty good player, so probably not. Well, maybe. We'll see. I didn't expect him to hit a 2. That was an expensive 2 to smack. Sugawara gonna help Riedel out. Breaks Sopa. Might lose his 3 as a result. But I'm sure Riedel is grateful for the help. Riedel pushes further east, loses 1 in the process. Alright, does Sopa continue to insist on holding the bonus here? Do we see 2s? Nope, puts everything on his 5. Okay. With every break, he's patching the hole that has been broken. So now Sugawara and Riedel have taken their turn breaking Sopa. Sopa's still holding more than 15 territories. Has a comfortable, maybe not comfortable, but has the troop lead. Does Borison go ahead and break? It is Borison's turn to break if we keep going back in turn order from when red goes. Doesn't look like he's interested in breaking. Also, if the bonus does lead to a sweep, Riedel's on a team. That's true. So he doesn't need to sacrifice this game. Yep. Yeah, Borison and Sugawara are the players that need to make sure that Sopa never holds a bonus. That's true, based off of points. Best off of points and who needs to win this game, yeah. Yep, Riedel's saying, I took my turn to break. Gonna sit in what looked to be what yellow was going for. So red collects on the +5. Gonna add 10 troops to the board this turn before the first trade comes out. That's a lot of troops. 15 territories with a +5. Looks like he's going to knock Riedel out of the corner. Thanks for not breaking me. I'm going to go ahead and hit your 4 now. Alright. So now we're going to see what Uberboss wants to do. Uberboss is going to set in for the 4 trade. For that, Riedel will break him. They don't call him the fisticuffs for no reason. Right. I think Riedel removes the 2 now. Oh, from that corner? That makes sense. I could see that. That's probably a proportional retaliation. Yep. No one else seems to care that Sopa's getting +5. Borison still has a string of green spanning the middle of the board. Could be a problem when the big trades start coming out. But he turned in the 6, Sugawara turning in the 8. Sugawara decides to hit a Riedel 2 for some reason. Gets perfect dice on it. So poor Riedel getting beat up all game. It's a good thing he doesn't need this one since he already took the last one. Riedel sets in for the 10. And then Sopa going to get the biggest trade. Gets 12 troops for the set. 10 troops for the bonus plus 15 territories. 62 troops already. This game does look like it's going Sopa Didi's way. Red going to smack the green 11. Nope, going to smack black's 3. Gets perfect dice on it again. Or, not again. Sorry. But does get perfect dice on it. Excuse me. I'm going to split off 13 troops. Planning on hitting white. Maybe that territory's safe from the zombies. Maybe he has his +2 on that territory. Yeah. Which, if you get perfect dice, it's worth it. Heck, if you only lose 1, it's worth it. Yep, does decide to hit Riedel. Splits 3 off. Pulls his 2 in. Uberboss big stacking on a 15 in the middle of the board. Borison gonna get away from the guy who is stacking big and smacking stacks. Sugawara has a set on 3 if he wants to use it. Yeah, yellow is looking a bit fishy. Looks like Sopa is drawing a turkey on turkey. Yeah, I can kind of see it. If this over here is like the beak or whatever, and this is the throat, like you go sideways. I don't know. He just needs the right side. Yeah. Still getting 10 a turn. I'd be very surprised. So, Sopa should win this game. We'll see if he can finish it out. Since he's guarding anyway, he may as well move that 5 that's locked over to the open part of his border. If yellow cannot put cards with 4, he is toast. Yeah, if yellow doesn't have a trade, he almost certainly dies. Okay. Sopa wanted to hit another white 1. And unlocks the 5 that was locked. We do see the 15 trade come out for Uberboss. He's going to live to fight another day. Still only the 15 trade. Robin might go for it. Okay. Uberboss with a decent sized 22 stack in the middle of the board. Robin loses a troop taking a card, takes a very quick turn, goes to 5. Does Sugawara set? Borison appears to have taken a quick turn due to not having a set on 4. Sugawara gonna go ahead and go to 5 cards as well. Yeah, Uberboss certainly needed to trade. These other players appear to be feeling comfortable. Riedel not feeling comfortable, gonna go ahead and set in for the 20. I don't think he has quite enough troops to take out either Robin or Sugawara. He certainly doesn't have the troops to kill Sopa. Looks like he might be going after Sugawara on 15. This isn't 100%, but it's close enough. Very risky kill, but he has it. And that will set him in turn. GG's to General Sugawara. Well played to Riedel, taking his bounty at 1 minute after the hour here. Riedel adds 3 points to his score. Sets in for the 25. And going to sit on 4 cards. Next set is worth 30. So surely Sopa has a set here and can kill Robin on 5. Or is he not going to trade? Robin would have been a double kill, but yeah, not possible. Ooh, Sopa smacks a 15 of Borison's. Looks like he's attempting the Borison-Robin kill without trading. I'm not sure I like this. This could feed it to Uberboss. Yeah, Riedel is saying oops. Has already missed path. That peninsula territory needed to go west if he was going to attempt this kill. He's on 69 troops, but appears to be undeterred by the board insisting that he stops. I was going to say red is too passive, but yeah. I like that oops in German is ups. Yeah. He is going to go ahead and quit while he's ahead. I don't think he fed this kill enough to Uber Boss. But I'll also say that I don't think Uber Boss has much choice but to go for it anyway. The 22 can sweep around through the 11 and then up and around. So, like, if I'm Uber Boss... Oh, no, he's got this 16 over here. Yeah. 12, 5, 1. Yep. Nope, needed to go straight up there. Looks like this may have been fed enough. Nope, not quite. Needs to win a 5v5. Didn't get the best of dice on the 11. Manuals the 5v5, knocks 2 off. 1 apiece there, 75% blitz for a 4v2. 89% blitz for a 3v1. Does he go for it? No, he's still manualing. Now he's down to a 1v1. Successfully lands the 1v1 for the Borison kill. Holy smokes, that was a nail-biter. Alright, so we have Uberboss now on the board this game. GG's to Boris and Robin. Well played to Uberboss, taking that kill. It was a little bit fed to him, but it also came down to the wire, that's for sure. Gonna set in for 30 off of that. Doesn't really have any other kills. Kind of needed that just to survive. Riedel gonna trade in. Can Riedel pick up either the Uberboss kill or the Sopa kill with the 35 set? Sopa waiting in the wings, holding 2 bonuses and 5 cards. Looks like Riedel is gonna go after Uberboss. Gonna have to split there. What a roller coaster. 73% should have been a blitz. Yep. Riedel wins if that 2v1 failed. Yep. He may still win anyway. Gonna try to go into the corner with the 3v1 here. Doing a good job of maximizing his troops. 2v1. Fails that. Gonna have to split off the 29 to finish off Uberboss. How many troops does he go with here? Does need at least 1 split. Gonna send 12 that direction. Also gonna have to split here. Has plenty to do it. And GG's to Uberboss. Well played to Riedel, taking his 2nd bounty this game. The 3rd bounty for this game overall. Right now we're in the 1v1 against Sopa Didi. Can Riedel finish it out here? Certainly he can break both of his bonuses. No reason to allow him to hold those now. Takes a bonus, well, another bonus of his own. Rolls the 5v2 for a 3rd bonus. And is going to sit on 4 cards. Can Sopa Didi set with the 45 and win the game right here? So we're going to need to see some perfect pathing from Sopa. Because I think if Riedel gets another turn, it'll be the last turn of the game. I'm not sure he's quite got the troops to finish it out. Still needs to hit a 7 stack and a 9 stack, and all he's got left is a 20. Well, I suppose he has his 5 also. Needs to get amazing dice on this 3. Also, it's possible that Riedel doesn't have a set on 4. If Riedel doesn't have a set on 4, then this could be Sopa's game anyway. He does open the 7. So yeah, I think Sopa's only out here is no set on 4 for Riedel. Or if Riedel somehow botches the win here, Sopa needs a set on 3. So Riedel does have the trade. Gonna trade in for 50. That should be enough for Riedel to close this out. Gonna use his 7 in the middle of the board. Running off of his big stack. Can Riedel path this perfectly to deny Sopa a chance to set on 3? Of course, we don't know if Sopa has the set on 3, but Riedel should be able to make sure that it doesn't matter whether or not he does. So some excellent pathing here from Riedel, making the most of the 90 seconds he's got, as well as the most of his troops to optimize his path here. Still has a 4 waiting in the wings that he could use if he wants to, but should need to use it. Just has a few more troops here to button out before he closes out this win. Alright, and that is all she wrote, folks. GG's and well played to Sopa Didi. And congratulations to Riedel winning Game 3, securing for himself a spot on the Germany team. Going to represent Germany in the World Cup. Alrighty. So that should be it for that, for the scores. And I'll go ahead and put this up. Yep. All right. So it looks like with Riedel winning, Lila the Poet is going to stick around on a Germany team as well. Congratulations. So yeah, points from this round, though I don't think the points for Game 3 matter. But yeah, Riedel wins Game 2 and Game 3. Ends with 44 points. Uberboss with 18 points. Sugelrauer with 3. Borson, Robin, and Sopadidi. Unfortunately, this round was not their round. So, Team 1 for Germany is going to be Armada, Riedel, and Speedster. And Germany Team 2 is going to be Uberboss, Lila the Poet, and Lebra. Congrats to all of you players that managed to bag a spot for your team. Alrighty. Stay tuned for more World Cup action, folks. This was the last national qualifier game. The World Cup is going to begin in earnest next week. I believe the first games will be scheduled Monday for next Monday on the 12th is when everyone will get their schedule for who's going to play when and what teams your teams will be up against. So I believe the first actual game is probably going to be scheduled for Wednesday the 14th, but the schedules are going to go out on the 12th. All right. Oh, and yeah, check out the preview show over on the PRT channel this Saturday at 16 UTC. Mitch is going to be running that, and you'll get all the information you need. That's your birthday, Tanya? You know what's funny? The 10th is my mom's birthday. Yep. Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll go ahead and raid out now. Let's see. I owe Cosmic a raid, as he raided me the other day. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see some more action next week. I have something to tell you. I am your mom. Oh my gosh, no me diga. Ugh. That's okay. One can never have enough moms, right? All right, we'll send you guys over to Cosmic Cowboy. Looks like he's playing some ranked. So yeah, good luck in the World Cup, everybody. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye bye now.